I am Quinnell Dixon, and I'm going to teach you guys how to launch online. Now, I have about a 15 to 18 minute slot, so I'll try and put as much meat and potatoes in this as I can. I am the founder of Embrogo Brand, which is a custom online embroidery service and product that I offer. You basically have an idea, I put it on a hat for you. Straightforward out of a 1969 trailer. The Handmade Hustle is my new YouTube series that I started. I basically teach people how they can go from zero to just $500 a month on Etsy with simple strategies that I offer. And I'm also an Etsy shop owner as well, as I in correlation to the Handmade Hustle. So my introduction is going to take 2 minutes, you guys. Then I'm going to go to another 2 minutes of why I decided to choose Etsy and 3 reasons why I launched on Etsy. My success from 0 to 100 in just 14 months on Etsy. And then what's next? What's next is I'm going to open up a shop with you guys live. I'll try and do that very quickly just to give you guys a basic rundown of how an Etsy shop is ran and how it started. And then we'll have time for a Q&A. Okay? I can't see your faces, but you know what? I'm going to just continue to keep going. Intro, who is he? Who is this guy? Who is this man? Who is this weirdo? First, I'm a believer. I love Jesus. I love my family. I'm a creative. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a dancer, choreographer. I was actually a dancer, choreographer before I started my brand. And my brand was actually birthed out of me being a choreographer. I wanted to make extra income while I wasn't teaching. So I decided to launch my own dance brand. And then I got tired of paying the overhead fees for getting my headwear done, getting my shirts, my t-shirts and everything done for my dance brand. So I started to do it all myself. I'm a husband. I'm a father of 2 boys. These guys right here, 12 years old, 6 years old. That's Cass. That's Ellis. That's my wife, Adrian. We've been in Utah for 2 years now. And I'm a business owner right over here. This is my trailer that I embroider out of. And this is my oh so cool hip hop pose that I did when I was in China teaching. Moving on. Why? Why did I choose Etsy? And I'm glad you guys asked that question. I'll give you a brief overview and then we'll dive deeper into why I chose Etsy. But just for the sake of argument and for the sake of objectives, it was convenient for me, okay? Etsy was convenient, and I'll get into why I thought it was convenient in the next slide. It's affordable to start, and I love that Etsy is very niche specific. And what I mean by that is you have something specific that you can offer somebody, not a generalized portion, but a specific group of people. Etsy is so good for that, okay? Moving on, the 3 reasons why I decided to launch on Etsy, and I'm getting into the meat and potatoes of it right here. People buy from niche businesses, okay? Why do people buy from niche businesses? I wish I can pull on you guys right now and ask you guys, but I'll just settle for speaking to myself out loud. A niche business can be anything from jewelry to myself. I do custom headwear to I've seen people have a niche business that literally teaches people how to care for their orchid plants. Teaches people how to care for their orchid plants. And to me, I can't see you guys, and I don't know if you're laughing, but I'm laughing inside. But not just care for their orchid plants. I know a dude that's made $6 million teaching people how to care for their orchid plants. It's crazy. So if you think that your idea is berserk and off the wall, there's people that are teaching people how to care for orchid plants. Okay, moving on. When you have raving fans like Orchid Plant Care, those raving fans become raving customers, okay? And those raving customers turn into people that you can find on Etsy, right? That platform is filled with people who are looking for something specific. Yeah. Another thing that Etsy is good for is Etsy has a built-in audience that you don't have to go search for. So, for instance, when I was on Shopify, Shopify is an amazing platform, and Squarespace, and I tried a lot of them, Wix. I tried a lot of these places, but the thing that I found that wasn't convenient for me was these places didn't have a built-in audience, okay? And when you don't have a built-in audience, what does that mean? You have to spend money to get traffic to have that audience see you and see your products. Facebook ads, Google ads, a lot of different ways to actually get people to notice your traffic. But if you look at things like Amazon Handmade, Amazon FBA, or MBA, or something like that, merchant by seller, or things like Etsy, they all have a built-in audience. Okay, and I was interested in that because I say, you know what, if I can go to a platform that already has a built-in audience, that says something for the platform, and it also says something for me to be able to launch on that platform. I'm basically jumping in warm water, if that makes sense, right? Another thing that, I said it right here, they have 50 million users, and when you have a working platform in place like Etsy, it's much easier to receive warm leads, organic traffic, and relevant searches to your products and services on a particular platform like an Etsy and like an Amazon. I hope that's making sense to you guys. And the third reason why I decided to launch on Etsy, because it is extremely affordable to start. And what I mean by affordable is I've never seen a service that charges you 20 cents to start a listing. What is a listing? A listing is if you have said product, let's go with hats because that's what I'm in, that industry. Let's say you launch a product with a hat on it. Okay, you can get up to 10 photos. You can have a full product description. You can have a video now. Etsy actually allows you to offer videos now in your listing. And you can have variations up to 20, I believe, up to 20 variations. And the variation is if you have a hat, but you have 10 different colors. So if you have a black hat, a red hat, a green hat, an orange hat, whatever, you can add those variations up to 2 different columns of variation. So let's say small, medium, large, extra large, so on and so forth. That only costs you 20 cents, you guys. It costs you 20 cents to start that. Etsy also will charge you 3.5% as a transactional fee for doing business on the platform because that's just what businesses do. But I can tell you it's well worth it. And right now, Etsy is actually offering 8% off of shipping domestically as well. So what that means is if you sell said hat, Etsy is going to charge you 20% for the listing, 3.5% just to have a transaction. So if you sell a hat for 20 bucks, 3.5% of that is $2 or something. I don't know. And then you ship it, which is going to cost you $2. But Etsy is actually going to give you an extra 8% off of it right now domestically, I think because of COVID and because things are going a little bit slower, because they want to have some relief for Etsy shop owners or what may have you. But that's great. You know what I mean? So let's recap those. Niche businesses are amazing on Etsy. Etsy has already a built-in audience that you can tap into and their ecosystem that's already working, jumping in warm water. And it's extremely affordable to start on Etsy. And these are just some of the perks that Etsy has to offer, but they have plenty more. But let's move on. Let's move on to my story. Let's move on to why you're here. Well, not why you're here, but a reason why I jump on things like this is I want to know someone's story. Man, you went from 0 to 100K. How do I do it? You're a regular old dude. How did you do it? And I'm going to tell you guys exactly how I did it in a small, brief synopsis. I went from 0 to 100K in 14 months on Etsy. Here's my shop. And if you're looking at my shop, a couple of key things, this is why I took a screenshot of this, is a couple of key things that I want you guys to note for if you open your shop. This is called a splash page, okay? When people come to your website, when people come to your page, they want to know, can you grab my attention immediately? Okay, immediately when you type in scullysbrand.com or Mbrogo.com or Mbrogobrand.com, it's going to direct you to my Etsy shop where you're going to see this big old splash page opt-in, 150% off your first order. Sign up for my VIP member list today, and I'll send you 15% off. What does that do? It's enticing. It entices people to want to shop with you because immediately you're giving them value. You're giving them a discount, right? What else do you see here? You see free domestic shipping. Okay, that's great, right? Free domestic shipping, you're like, okay, that's another perk. I love it. And then what else do you see? Customized today, ships within 1 to 2 days. Now, what does that tell you? I don't have that little blue Amazon Prime sticker, but what does that tell you as a consumer? It tells you as a consumer that you're used to getting things between 1 and 2 days because of a thing like Amazon Prime. I can't put Prime on there, but I can tell you that you will get it shipped within 1 to 2 days, right? That's a perk for the customer as well. So now you have my interest. I'm interested. I want to stay on your shop because you've enticed me with 3 different areas. These are just small little bits of information that I'm giving you guys. There's plenty more, but these are 3 key ones when people come to your Etsy shop. Moving on to the next slide. 0 to 100K. If you see right here, this is an actual live screenshot of my 14 months. I hit 101, 548, and 30 cents in 14 months. I can't even tell you guys that going into this, I knew I was going to hit this number. This number, honestly, you guys, it just happened because my head was down and I was grinding and I was working. And just to give you guys a funny story, I wasn't even going to launch on Etsy. I had no plan to launch on Etsy. In my head, Etsy was a shop for women or moms to sell jewelry and knitted clothes. And I didn't offer any of that, okay? Now, I was totally wrong because Etsy has jumped into this big plethora of things. You can sell prints. You can sell downloads. You can sell jewelry. You can sell headwear. You can sell T-shirts, print on demand. You can do so much on Etsy, and it's really, really not restricted per se. I was talking to Sarah about it, and she was like, yeah, you know, back in the day, Etsy was very restricted by what you can sell, but now it's opened up and you can pretty much utilize it as a Shopify or a big cartel nowadays. If you look right here, none of this will really make sense to you. It barely makes sense to me, but Etsy pages, this basically says that I had 25,000 people come because they were on Etsy searching, okay? That's 25,000 people that are already on Etsy and right here, Etsy shirts. So that's what, 40,000 people that are already on Etsy. How long or how much money would it take you to get somebody to your actual shop for 40,000 people? Who knows, right? Direct traffic, 4,000, social media, Etsy ads. I spent some money on Etsy ads. That's where I got a lot of those sales from. But this just goes to show you guys that you have multiple buckets that you can tap into. A lot of people said they have an Instagram, a Shopify, all of these different search engines. Well, the good thing is that Etsy gives you 3 or 4 different amounts of exposure to get to your site. There's also, it doesn't show you here, but there's also a Google traffic. And once you do things on Etsy, you can actually people can actually find you through Google and see your Etsy shop through Google as well. So there's just so many ways that people can find you. 4.3% conversion rate. This may not make a lot of sense to you right now, but 4% conversion rate is amazing. Industry standard is 1 to 2% conversion rate. A conversion rate is how many people stopped on your shop, how many people actually converted into a customer. Now, there could be a lot of reasons why people converted into a customer for me. They could have converted because of my pictures, because of my description, because of my splash page, because of me offering 3 different opportunities of value to them. There's so many reasons why someone converts into a customer, but this 4.3% right here tells me that I am above industry standard and I'm doing something right in my shop to be able to convert 4.3%. Moving on, another big key why your shop can or cannot be successful. Why? Reviews. Who goes to Amazon, and I can't see you guys just type it in the chat, but who goes to Amazon and immediately looks at a review of a product? I just did it this morning. My son said, Dad, I want to buy a new skateboard. I said, okay, cool. Let me look at the skateboard. Immediately, I went to the reviews. Bad deck. This deck cracks. This deck breaks. I said, son, you don't want to buy this deck. He's like, but I want to. I have the money. I need it right now. I said, look at the reviews. And he said, oh, okay, let's look on. Let's continue to go, right? Reviews are everything. I mean, you get reviewed to go to McDonald's now. You go into McDonald's, you get a small fry, they're going to kick you back a review saying, how was our service, right? Because people live off of reviews. Yelp, customers, businesses can live or die by their reviews. Let's go over a couple of reviews that I got. Birthday gift for my daughter. This hat is good quality. Embroidery is gorgeous. This got cut off, but it said, received it in an amazing time frame, right? Right here. There we go. I'll go on to the next one. Quick turnaround and very high quality. We love Embrogo and will never use anyone else. Pat myself on the back for that. Excellent customer service, timely delivery, great hats. Thank you, Quinnell. Hats came out great, amazing customer service, fast shipping. Now, what are three things that you notice about what customers are saying right here? Great quality, great turnaround, fast shipping, right? What did I say on the beginning of my splash page? Fast shipping. You want customers to know that you value them, and you want them to also know that you stick by your word, you stick by your promise that you're giving them. I can't take the credit for this, you guys. I don't even touch any of the customer experience. My wife, Adrienne, does all of the customer experience. My name is just on it. I don't touch any of the customers. I've removed myself from that because my wife is so much better at the customer experience than I am. But this just goes to show that the energy and the principles that I've instilled into my wife is pouring through her, and you can see it in the customer reviews. I hope that's making sense to you guys. This is huge, and this is key. Okay, moving on. How did I make 11K in 3 weeks during coronavirus? Shelby told me to talk about this, but I'll make it quick and I'll make it sweet and simple. Here are my bonus tips on how I made 11K in 3 weeks during coronavirus. Tip number one, and I'm only giving you two. You must answer customers and potential customers very quickly. When people have money, when people want to spend it, a lot of people got stimulus checks or whatever the case is. You want to answer them quickly because I guarantee if you don't answer them quickly, who is? Somebody else. Tip number one, when you're starting to shop, and especially if you see things, trends that are going on, if there are trends going on, hop on a trend, you guys, because a trend you can ride, you can get traffic to your shop from a trend, you can get sales to your shop from a trend, and you can also increase your financial income if you are quick to your customers and potential customers. Moving on to tip number two, you should review and post new listings daily, especially for Etsy. If you're not popping up at the top, that's because you're not posting often. You need to post often. You need to review your listings all the time because that is what's going to increase your sales. And I did that almost every other day. And that's how I increased to 11K in just 3 weeks during coronavirus. A couple of other things that I did, but I'm not going to give away my bag of treats. But these are a couple of things that I saw that I was able to do to turn my income into 11K in just 3 weeks during coronavirus. All right, I'll just show you guys how. I'll go to my back end. This is my back end system. If I click right here, this is just my Etsy forefront page. And Sarah was completely right. You can completely customize everything on a Big Cartel or Shopify. You could do pretty much virtually anything, right? And you have to know that for yourself. You have to know that if you want a standalone website, you can do it. Or if you want a site where you're tapping into an audience like I wanted to, you can do that as well. So I'm restricted though, however, with what I can and can't do. But this is my shop store, right? This is everything that I offer, my reviews and such. But if I click up here to Shop Manager, I go in, manage my shop, and I'll just show you guys how to make a listing really quick. Wait. Oh, listings right here. Go on the listings tab, and pretty much like Sarah does, I do the same thing. I actually copy listings as well because I want to kind of keep the integrity of everything almost the same. And look at that. Like I told you guys, you can add videos to it. But let's just go ahead and change these sections to customize your hat, right? Because I have different sections. So I basically would go, where are we at? Move out of my way. Right here up to add a listing, right? This is how you're going to add your first listing. You add a listing, you add a photo, okay, from whatever you want here. Let's just go ahead and add, let's add Queen Bee, okay? You add Queen Bee. You can add up to 10 variations. You can adjust the thumbnail. You see how this isn't centered. I'll pull it up here. Boom, it makes it centered. I'll save it, and I'll go through this very quick. A lot of my settings are already saved, but you can now add a video, which I'm going to start messing with that and playing with that. But you type in Queen Bee, whatever your description title is going to be. Categories, I'll leave all this. This is not a digital. This is a physical product. So Queen Bee hat, for instance, in the description, just to give you guys an idea. Sections, you can put it in whatever section you have. I have sections ranging from hats all the way down to Mother's Day gifts. Okay, I'm not going to put it in a section. Tags are very important, you guys. How people are going to find your things are by the tags. So if I put Queen Bee hat or hats or designed hat, so on and so forth, you can add up to 13. You want to add all 13. The price for the hat, let's say Queen Bee is an expensive lady. We're going to make it $1,000 hat. Okay, you want one, but let's say you want up to 50 because you have 50 of that same exact hat. This is what I was talking about earlier with variations, you guys. I'm not going to add any variations right now because that's a whole nother rabbit hole, but you can add size, color, dimensions, all that right here. Personalization, you can turn that on if you want special instructions, if you want people to say this is a Mother's Day gift. They can put that here so you can insert a card if you want to, right? Add the personalization, or you can make it optional. Moving down to shipping, you guys, and this is very, very straightforward. I know a hat is going to weigh 4 ounces. That's how much. I know my packaging is 11 by 8, and this is going to vary depending upon who you are, by 4. Do I want to market this item? This is actually very perfect. Yes, I want to market this listing. I typically market the listing. I'm very aggressive when it comes to selling, so I'll market it immediately. Oops, custom shipping. I'll market it immediately because I want to be able to see if it's actually going to sell or not, right? So I can publish this. Where are we at? Oh, geez. 84105. And this is pretty self-explanatory, you guys. All of this, 1 to 2 days. All this is pretty self-explanatory. Oh, geez. What did I miss this time? Sorry, I'm going fast. Oh, I did. A finished product. 2020 hats. Sure. There we go. Okay. There we go. 20 cents. Do I want to publish this listing? I'm not going to publish it because it's just a dummy listing, but that's pretty much how you would go through, make a listing, and you can continue to go through and do that in your shop to give you the idea of what my shop looks like right here, you guys. So you can go through and see all my different customizations, and that is pretty much it. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys for listening to me, Sarah, and if you have questions, I think we'll open it up to that right now.